Life is magic. Live it before you run out of it. I'm going to talk about this idea. Why the Coca-Cola doesn't taste as good as it was back in the day. Why the sun doesn't shine as it used to be back in the day. Why is that? Perception. That's the name of the game. Perception and expectancy. Why perception? Why expectancy? If people go sleeping through life, perception plays a very important role. They perceive the same things differently because the inertia in the baggage in their subconscious mind tells them to. While their focus is on something else, from time to time, they want the things they once used to enjoy be the same, but they can't because their mind is focused on something else. And that's the problem, perception. Their perception is backloaded. That's the problem. And as soon as you link the good thing that you used to do differently back in the day with how you do it now, without realizing the loaded perception, then expectancy takes place and it's gonna give you the same events you used to enjoy back in the day with a different perception. It's gonna give it to you loaded. That's the unconscious expectancy, if you understand what I mean. You have your perception, but it's backloaded. That's gonna create the expectancy of you seeing the world through this backload. For some people it's good, for other people it's bad. And I'm talking about the backload. That is the emotional experiences, the unfinished stuff they began and never finished. What else is backloaded with their upbringing is also backloaded with their mind running away in the future and in the past. And we get to conclude that expectancy is created by this backload. And here is the point number one. You don't need a new life. You need new eyes. The magic was never gone. Your perception of it numbed. Children experience wonder because everything is first time. Adults lose the magic because they stop seeing. Treat today like it's your second chance at a life you already have. I don't think there is such a thing as incarnation, as one of my friends said. I don't agree with that. I only have this life. I don't know what's gonna happen after this. I have a rough idea, but it's rough and I'm gonna keep it at rough. All it matters is the present moment. This life, the now, what you do with it, how you live it. You gotta do good for other people, but live in a state of complete presence. In a state where your spirit leads your action. That's the trick here. So you don't need a new life. You need new eyes. Treat the same small things with different eyes as you would see them for the first time. That's what you have to do from now on. Slowly, you will get rid of your backloaded perception. But you will need to understand that's going to take time, especially if you're dealing with a lot of conditioning and a lot of psychological inertia. So there is always a way out. Point number two, reinvention is returning to who you were before the world taught you to shrink. People search reinvent yourself 33,000 times a month because they feel lost. But reinvention is remembering. Bored, anxious, and numbed is all learned. You need to understand fundamentally that everything is learned. From the way you hold the fork or the spoon when you eat to how you walk on the street. Okay, but let's say that's biologically conditioned to walk on the street with your two legs. But what if people used to walk in reverse? Just think about it. Perception, all right? Just think about it. Just consider the possibility of things to be different. And as a matter of fact, they are. People are different. Opinions are vast. And the way people do things varies from person to person. The same thing is not being seen the same for two people. So if we have multiple opinions, we have multiple perspectives, and we see with our perception. Perspective creates the backload for our perception. And based on that, we get our expectancy. And if now we consider that most of the things are learned in your life, the way you read, write, and so on, we also conclude that certain behavior is predicted. Then if it's predicted, then it's your duty to take some stock of how you act through the world. I want you to look at yourself clearly. I want you to see yourself. You want to get a hold of any learned behavior and really notice it. Because by noticing it and becoming aware of it, it's 50% of the battle won in your favor. The other 50% is reducing it and replacing it with a different answer to the trigger or something. When we talk about conditioning. So bored, anxious, and numbed is all learned. You need to unlearn that. You need to become somebody. Craft yourself a direction. Live in the spirit. Let the spirit run through you and merge with everything you do from now on. Put power and efficiency in everything you do. Set yourself a target, a direction, a new course for life, and become that. And you're gonna have the support of the whole universe. That's the beauty. That's what you want to aim for. And here is a note about the living again idea. You can't get back a lost moment. You can only charge the meaning of your current specific existence. 2010 is gone. 2015 is gone. 2020 is gone. 2025 is also gone. What's your next chapter like? What is it going to be like? I'm asking you. Think about it. Plan yourself out a rough direction and follow it through. But I want you to be really specific in what you want and how you can go about it. Even if you do this wrong, you still have a plan, you still have a drive, you live in the moment, you have a direction, you are the creator of your own life. So the final question here is, what's your next 5 years gonna be like? You have the 2026, what have you done till now? And so the question is, what are you gonna do in the next 4 years? Think about that and answer yourself honestly, because many things can change in 4 years. You can be a totally different person even next year. That's the beauty of your plasticity, of you letting go of the script, of the learned stuff, and seeing life anew. Point number 3, create the reset moment through action. The Reddit threads show a specific pattern that people feel stuck and they wait for motivation to arrive. It never does. So you don't need it. And based on my philosophy, action creates ability. You don't feel your way into acting. Instead, you act your way into feeling. What this means is that you need to change your state. You charge it. You become present by doing things. But these things need to be small, but part of a bigger thing. Map out your whole plan, just like Jim Rohn said, and then divide it into quarters, into 4 quarters. And from there, look at every 3 months. And then based on that, you plan your week. This is the beauty. This is what you must do. You have a plan. You have a plan for the year, a plan for the month, for the day. You're going to live your life planned. It's a very powerful idea. Not many people do it. It's fine. You don't need these people just as a reference point, but you do it for yourself. You do it for you to grow yourself and to really use your potential and become the best version of yourself you can possibly be on this plane. So don't forget, action creates ability. Take action, even if it's wrong. You have a reference point. And if that becomes your reference point, from there you can shoot in a different way, in a totally different direction. Now you have data. You can make an informed decision. By the way, watch my video on how to take better decisions. Point number 4, the nothing is enough trap is a perception problem, not a life problem. One Reddit user shared, when their life crashed, they started a gratitude notepad. Day 1, they could barely feel a line. That's the starting point, and it worked. When you raise your standard too high, that becomes a problem because you can't compensate with your actions for it. You can't see how to make it happen. And that's the problem. Because in order to rely on synchronicities from the universe, you need to become the catalyst for those synchronicities to take place. That requires a degree of blind faith, which is faith is blind, or you could say, or a way of being. And this is what we aim for. You aim to be in a constant flow state with the universe, with life, while you follow your intention, your plan. The magnitude to which you move, or to which the universe moves, is dependent to the degree of your observation of the dynamic between your action and the universal action, the flow of events, that is. And so, in order to establish for yourself a path ahead that you can easily follow, you don't need to shoot too high, only when the course is clear. But please do everything in your power. Become present in everything you have to do. If you have to write something important, just sit down and put your best effort forward. Don't overcomplicate things. Do it in the simplest way possible, but make sure you put your best ideas forward all the time. Give value. Become effective and efficient at the same time. You can by putting spirit into everything you do. This is how you grow your magnitude. When you do, the universe will respond accordingly, because reality is a mirror, but it only acts to the degree to which you put yourself in the reflection. That is, you set your intention and it will respond accordingly. That's the beauty. Okay, so now I gave you the map to growth. But now that you have the map, let's see what somebody stuck can do. First of all, you don't have to wait for motivation. It's not going to come. You don't need it. You need discipline, I would say. Some form of enforced discipline. But remember, this is going to take you from here to there because it relies on willpower. And willpower is weaker than the imagination, as we know from Émile Coué, the French doctor that lived in France from 1857 till 1926. And so what you need to do to compensate for strength is to lower your expectations. This is what you have to do. Shoot slightly lower. Shoot way lower. Shoot towards something achievable. That's the starting point. And from there you can compound. It snowballs. You want to shoot higher and higher, but you got to have a starting point. You can't just shoot higher and then expect and nothing happens and everything you live delusional. You got to do something. You got to shoot higher, but not too high. Just enough so you can see it, so you can reach it. You know, it's just like I have a tree hanging with the fruits. You can easily grab those. You can grab. But what about the ones at the top? You need a stepladder or something, you know. You got to think about this. The same in real life, literally is the same. The simplest example I can give. And if we take it a step further, gratitude is just being thankful for the things you already have, like electricity, water to drink, and food to eat. So there is loads you can look at. And even this can be your starting point, you know, like that guy started with just a single line. That's it. Point number 5, reset the baseline, lower it deliberately. Watch ordinary moments feel extraordinary again. And here, I'm going to ask you to do something. Go for a drive, get yourself an ice cream or something, a cold drink, because it's summer as of 2026. And, do something that only you can enjoy. Do something for you, for yourself, like you've never done it before. Just go alone and watch a movie. Can you do that? Can you actually step outside of this reality bubble and start living life anew? Can you do it? Can you drop everything? Drop the importance of everything you have going and then reset yourself. Get some time off from everything you do. That's your key. That's your pillar. That's your starting point. It's just what you must do. From there, you're going to have a fresh brain, a fresh perspective. You can be the observer of your own life. You can take a new course of action, and from there you can help other people. Heck, something you can't really see how because you don't see how. That's fine. That's the paradox. But the how is less important when your why is strong enough. But of course, this is a deeper dynamic than we have time to talk about. I hope you understand what you have to do, and that's it. I'm done here, right? And again, life is magic. Live it before you run out of it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.